What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RPEG Electronics. I'm Ray. Happy New Year. All right, so this year, 2022, still COVID, and Inandon has not been releasing any new models this year yet, probably because of component shortage. So we're still selling the good, tried and true V5 Max. Okay, but today I wanted to talk about why the prices on my website versus some other places you may look like Amazon or Taobao, whatever, differ like quite radically. So to explain this very clearly, I've done a video on this before, but to emphasize some more, Inandon itself actually mostly just makes this piece right here. This is the V5 Max motherboard, and this is pretty much what you're paying for. This lets you access the new songs every month and pretty much enjoy your karaoke, okay? It's got HDMI out, USB ports, Ethernet touchscreen, and your audio cable out. That's really all there is to it, to a karaoke. You can run it off this actually. Okay, now the rest of the components, meaning the shell, the LCD, the power supply, and the hard drive is actually all provided by a secondary factory. That's the factory that assembles everything for you. Okay, so when we choose our components, we pay extra for the best components, all right? And I've done a lot of comparisons with other clients who have bought it off Amazon, and they were complaining to me like, hey, it stopped working after a month or two. I'm like, well, that's not my product. That's not my problem. And then they showed it to me, and they're like, all right, I'm returning it after like 20 days or 30 days if they're lucky. After 30, you can't return it, and then you're stuck with it. And they showed it to me, and they showed me what they got. And they let me keep some of the parts here. So these are the power supplies that you are supposed to use with your karaoke, all right? This is our power supply. This is the Dajing brand, okay? We've been using this brand for quite a while. They're reliable, they're expensive, they're heavy duty, and there's a reason why, okay? So all power supplies, if it says 12 volt 5 amps or 4 amps, it might not be, okay? Because there is a significant difference in pricing, and that's why when you go on Amazon, buying power supplies, even generic ones, the prices can go from 10 bucks to like 40, 50, 60, and there's big reasons for that. When you're using things like LED lighting, using a cheapo one, maybe not a big deal because it just has to turn on and stay on. That's its only job. When you're doing a karaoke system where you're drawing a lot of power, where you have a CPU, internet access, you have a hard drive moving as well, all right, that's not gonna cut it. You gotta have a strong, consistent, high capacitor power supply, which is what we use, all right? I have seen cheaper ones. So this is the barely acceptable ones that I've seen with other systems. This is a 12 volt 4 amp. It's very lightweight, all right? And this will work, but if they're using a cheap hard drive or refurbished hard drive or one that's meant for enterprise work, like these were the drives that people used to use. These are very heavy. They are drawing 12 volts, 9 amps, okay? So, 0.9 amps. So that's about almost 12 watts, all right? The ones that we use, Seagate Barracuda, all right? These all have a 5-year warranty, okay? 12 volts, only 0.37 amps. And this way, you're only gonna be drawing about like, about 4 watts. This will not kill your power supply. So imagine your car wants more gas, but you're only giving it shitty gas. Obviously something's gonna crash. So when you see your system like crash, reboot, fail to boot up after a couple months, that's because the hard drive has gotten corrupted because the power supply was not giving enough juice to hold it stably, and somewhere in the middle, an update stopped or a new song stopped and the drive got corrupted. The drive is probably still good and can be saved, but your system has to be, recloned and reserviced, which is a pain in the butt. I do sell these, the 8 terabyte proper drives on my website, rpegelectronics.com, if you want to, upgrade your existing drive. If you got ripped off somewhere else and you say, hey, they said 8 TB, but inside was a 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, refurbished, broken, relabeled drive, all right? If you can't check the serial number, that's not a real drive. They just relabeled it. I can put any sticker I want. I can make it say 16 if I wanted to. That does not mean it's 16. You can put my drive in if you have a V5 Max system, okay? So let's talk about these power supplies. So I got a 12 volt 4 amp here, extremely light, hollow sounding chintzy weight, all right? I have another 12 volt 4 amp here, okay? same thing, relatively light. I'm gonna show you guys how much they weigh, and it's very easy to tell, you know, who's putting the big capacitors inside, because these things have to store energy in a capacitor and then disperse. All right, here's a scale. All right, let's do the lightest one here first. So the lightest one coming in at 7.6 ounces. The medium-ish one, which is okay. Oh wow, this one's actually, hold on, let's put the cable up here so it doesn't have any help. 7.6 ounces, just the same. Okay, here's our branded, the Dajing one. This is a 12 volt 5 amp, all right? Technically, the system can do with just 4. I've seen people even give like a 2 amp power supply or 3 amp just to save a few bucks. All right, make sure the tail's not here so it's not cheating. All right, we're coming in at 9.2 ounces, okay? So that's the bigger capacitor inside, heavier duty stuff. This is what you should be getting, all right? These are expensive, but you know, you don't want to risk your nice $1,000 karaoke supply just to save 10, 20 bucks, all right? The other thing I've seen happen is shitty power cables. So I have seen some power cables where the fitting is extremely loose. For example, this one is just, I can just shake it right out. I should not be able to do that with a charger, all right? So imagine if this just comes loose or these pins don't make contact properly, your power supply is gonna get cut off. This one's even worse. Yeah. So this cable, it looks almost the same, garbage. This one is ungrounded, there's only 2 pins. That's not a problem usually, all right? But I like to have a grounded one. Slightly better, a little bit too easy to come out still. Still too easy, okay? Using this kind of cable, the bad quality cable on our supply, same thing. This is too loose, these jacks are no good, so garbage. You can expect problems, okay? A good thick quality cable, all right? If you have the proper pins and everything works correctly, should be nice and tight. All right. It should not come out easily. You shouldn't be able to wiggle it off, okay? See? And then our logo lights up, you know, nice, pretty blue LED. All right, and the main reason that you want this obviously is to prevent disconnects in the middle of your karaoke usage. All right, so if you use this power supply, you should be golden. You'll get stable performance, your hard drive won't shut down constantly, your system won't reboot, and you won't have any like burning smell, so you don't want that. All right, here's the system. Okay, due to the number of people using the incorrect power supply, I've seen people plug in laptop chargers, speaker chargers, all kinds of weird voltage stuff into the karaoke. That will immediately, and I mean immediately, burn the motherboard, okay? So the minute that you plug in a wrong power supply and turn on that switch, this little transistor over here is gonna burn out, okay? And that means this entire motherboard is screwed. You can't use this anymore, it's garbage, all right? So I am now offering a repair service. If you have a karaoke from, well, us, we take care of it with 1-year warranty, but that's not covered anyway. If you burned out your motherboard, if you bought it from somewhere, and you make sure that your motherboard is a V5 Max, meaning that your port positions are exactly like this, red, white, this might be red and white if you have an older version, orange, and the optical port on the bottom, it has to be exactly like this. We can repair it for you. I can swap it out for a brand new motherboard, because I do have these from the factory, and your system will be good to go again, and everything will be stable, okay? So make sure you use the right power supply, very important. Don't go putting gas into a Tesla. That's just asking for it. All right, our jack is also the proper tightness, okay? Your jack should not be able to just yank out too easily. It should be nice and snug. All right, you should hear a little, sliding motion, okay? This is usually not as big a problem with most chargers. I have not seen that happen too often. All right, and when you start up, see, we even have to put a label now. Only use the included 12 volt 5 amp power supply. Using any others will cause damage and void warranty, and in Chinese too. So you can't blame us that we didn't put a big ass sticker for you. When you turn on your system, using the proper Seagate hard drive, it's gonna be near silent. All right, when you use those industrial hard drives meant for like enterprise work or NAS storage, they don't care about sound inside a NAS server or inside a surveillance server. They don't care about that. So, you can have a bigger hard drive, a heavier duty hard drive, but you don't want that in your karaoke system. You don't want too much power being drawn, and you don't want giant vibrational sounds. That's not good. Okay. I will just show you real quick while the system's booting up. There is, of course, a significant weight difference in hard drives too. Okay, so if you put the no good one, 24 ounces, and then you put a good one meant for karaoke's. Actually, let me not say that. It's fine for what it is. It's an enterprise drive. It's a heavy duty drive meant for those big surveillance work. It is not meant for karaoke's. All right. Oopsie. And you'll notice there's no noise. You don't hear the like a skipping sounds of the hard drive. All right, hard drive, 21 ounces. All right, so it's significantly lighter. All right, more friendly for karaoke purposes. 21, 24. All right, 3 ounces is a lot in terms of these things. All right. So that's about it. I have done numerous videos already on usage of the karaoke system, but I do want to show you when you install a new hard drive, right? After you take out the screws in the back and pop this one in, I want you to just go into the system and do a quick scan. So we're going to go to Service, Settings. If you did not disable your password yet, it's 347437, okay? 347437, okay. And then you can turn off your password. You're gonna go to System Maintenance, Disk Management, check, scan, and clean up bad songs, and scan song. So this is gonna refresh the database for you. After that, reboot your system once, and it should pull the new cloud database, all right? We will do this for you. Well, we do this for you already when you purchase from us. But if you're doing a repair job, or if you're replacing the motherboard, or just doing anything yourself, yeah, you're gonna wanna do this, all right? So repair will cover service and parts. It's not going to be cheap because these things are not cheap to begin with. And then it will also cover return shipping back to you. You ship it to me here in New York City, it will be repaired and sent back to you with a brand new power supply and a brand new motherboard. Okay, so you get both in the repair service. All right, that's pretty much all there is to it. I just wanted to show you guys the accessories that come with the system and how you should be using them properly. Everything else, like audio cables, HDMI cables, I'm not even going to bother talking about because those things are so cheap nowadays. It doesn't really matter. As long as they're not broken, they're fine. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. And I'll see you on the next video.